Welcome, everybody, to episode 120 of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got me, John Kroll, and I'm joined by three of my duck friends, Jody.
Hi, friends.
Lonnie.
Hello, humans.
And Kevin.
Hey, everybody.
So we wanted to ask all of our listeners a favor, like we do every week. Please go out and, if you haven't given us a 5-star review, give us 5 stars. It really would help us feel better. But also, it will help other people find us. And we're bringing a good feeling and vibe to the world, and we need to spread that as much as possible. We want the ducks to be contagious. So
the bird flu.
Yeah. So get that bird flu flying. We want to infect everyone globally with.
Isn't that why Kevin got suspended from the Ducks for conduct unbecoming the Duck for like 6 episodes for spreading stuff? Come on now, man.
I was a super spreader. I flew south for the winter and then got lost flying back north.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, when you record late, it's just something happens.
Yeah. No, things get silly.
Ducks After Dark.
Whoa, that's a whole other show. That's going to be the Patreon.
One someday.
All right, so tonight we're going to ask a question of everybody like we do every week. And tonight's question is going to be, what is your favorite condiment? So, Kevin, let's start with you. What's your favorite condiment?
So all along it has to be honey mustard. That's a must in my refrigerator. But I've started getting this the sriracha sauce, and I've started using that. But I'm gonna stick with my one answer, honey mustard. But I've got others that I like, but that one's the top. I put that on everything.
Sriracha is really, really good. It does go on so many things. But I pretty much stick to like rice and noodles with sriracha for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll use Frank's for everything else. But if it's noodles or rice, I usually go with the sriracha. That's a good choice, though. Lonnie, what about you? What are you going with as your favorite condiment?
My favorite condiment is Raising Cane's dipping sauce.
Mm.
You can put that on everything. I've had it on not just the cane chicken strips. I've had it on boiled crawfish. I've had it on boiled shrimp. I've had it on fried shrimp. I've had it, you can bubble gump this shrimp thing, but I've had it. So Cane's dipping sauce.
Where do you get it?
Favorite condiment.
Do you have to go to Cane's to get it?
Yes, you have to go to Cane's. Now, look, you can look online for some bootleg recipes, but we don't recommend going online for bootleg because, of course, we don't want Cane's to come down on us.
Right.
So I've had Cane's once and was not a fan. So tell me,
what
is the consistency of the sauce and what is it? Is it a red sauce, a white sauce? What is the main ingredient?
The main ingredient is probably fat.
Yeah. It's likely.
It's
bacon.
Like yellow sauce. It's kind of like a mixture probably of mayonnaise, ketchup. I can give you a whole recipe on here, but we don't want to get sued because we don't have a duck legal fee fund.
He's not on right now.
Now we spent all that getting Gene out of trouble, so we don't have any more, right? So, but yeah,
Illegal
that's
funds.
What I like. Cane's dipping sauce.
Okay, I've never been to Raising Cane's.
I got to try that.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
I've never heard of it.
It was soggy and not good, and so I won't give it another chance.
You just got a bad experience.
Yeah,
because it's usually not like that.
It's not that at all. It's funny. Gene and I were talking about food today, and Southern food compared to everywhere else. And it's funny. It's like some of the fast food restaurants, for some reason, when they start in the South, they don't transition well when they go up the East Coast. It's the craziest thing. I don't know why. But
like pizza's not good in Florida because of the water.
Exactly, but it's
there you go.
And on the East Coast, Chicago here. I mean, we got pizza a couple of days ago. It was fantastic here. I mean, so it's the craziest thing.
I had Detroit style pizza over the weekend, John. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I saw that on the Facebook.
It's very good.
Detroit style is. I mean, I might be biased because I grew up
what
here.
Is
and I've lived
that?
Here my whole life. It's not as thick as like Chicago deep dish, but it's not thin either. It's like a good deep dish.
Oh, I would
square,
like that.
And then a lot of times I put the sauce on top. Oh, it is, and it's like the nice crispy edges.
The crispiness, the edges, the good cheese crispiness on the edge. That sounds
good.
It was
Sounds
good.
good.
It's
It is the best.
if you have a Jets pizza near you,
We have one right around the corner.
that's
Yep.
the best
I love
that I
that.
can think of. That's a translation of,
Yeah.
but this was legit Detroit style pizza. It was very good.
Yeah. No, I love Detroit style pizza. We have a couple really good ones close to my house that luckily make a decent gluten-free one, and it's so good. Now I'm hungry. We always do these shows when I'm hungry. And
They make me hungry.
yeah, again, I think it's just that I'm always hungry. All right, so let's see. We just talked to Kevin about his favorite was sriracha. Lonnie, his is the cane sauce, right? Jody, what's your favorite condiment?
I was going back and forth, but I think it's spicy brown mustard, which is so funny because as a kid, I despised mustard. Like, I was a camp counselor, and at the beginning, when I met my new campers every single Sunday, I would say, "Okay, who likes mustard?" And they'd raise their hand. And I'm like, "On these 3 meals, you have to sit at the far end of the table. You can't even be near me," because I hated the smell of mustard, hate everything about it. And then I grew up. And now I like it, but I like the spicy. I like everything spicy. So my choice was either between that or Tabasco. But when I really thought about it, I probably use like I'll even dip pretzels just in spicy mustard. I have like a really spicy hot mustard that I like. So probably a spicy mustard's my main go-to.
That seems like a foodie answer.
Yeah. But listen, John, it is not salsa or hummus. Can we all say that those are not condiments?
Dude, salsa
That
for
is
sure
not
is a
a
condiment.
condiment.
Salsa is a dip. Hummus
Salsa
is
one
not a
hundred
condiment.
not a condiment.
No, because you put it on everything. Okay, so
On a
here, my
sandwich,
answer is
when you
going to be
make a
salsa.
sandwich, do you put
And-
salsa on a sandwich? When you make a turkey sandwich?
No, but I also don't put ketchup on it either, and that's a condiment. I put that on a hamburger.
John, man, I think you're trying to find a loophole. in
Okay,
this
so
discussion.
salsa.
That is not a
If you
condiment.
make refried beans, what do you put on it? Salsa. If you make eggs, what do you put on it? Salsa. If you have chips,
Tabasco.
you put salsa. No, you don't put Tabasco on eggs. That's terrible.
Yes, you do.
You put salsa. Salsa is the greatest condiment. And George Costanza once said that it was the most popular condiment in America. Do you guys remember that episode?
No, but you
Seinfeld?
froze
No?
right when you were in the middle of your argument. It was great.
Oh, no, George Costanza on an episode of Seinfeld said it was the most popular condiment in America.
I mean, but do you listen to George Costanza for everything? Some of the stuff he
Why
said.
don't you guys tell me what I'm allowed to pick then? Because
Okay.
everything I want to pick.
You sound so angry.
How
about
and I'm hungry.
mayonnaise, ketchup?
No.
Let's go.
Okay, so ketchup is okay with fries. It's a little too sugary most of the time for me. If I'm having a hot dog, for example, Gene in the group text earlier was talking about coney dogs, basically, right? Like I'll put chili and then I use mustard and onion. I'm very into sauces, and I'm more of a sauce guy than I am the actual food guy. So it's just, for me, I don't have one that I use across all kind of genres, except maybe Frank's. I do put that stuff on everything because it's delicious. I even take their Frank's wing sauce and dip like cucumbers in it or celery in it, because then I feel like I'm having wings. So it's so like situation specific for me. But if I'm not allowed to pick salsa, I think, Kevin, you mentioned it earlier, honey mustard might be up there because you can put fries in it, you can put chicken strips in it, you can put it on a sandwich, it's got a lot of versatility to it. So I'm gonna go with that.
It's the Swiss
but it's under protest because it really is, yeah. And Frank's is too. So that's why that was another one up there for me. But no, this is still I'm logging this under protest, saying that salsa is in fact a condiment. And I would like to see if people could go to our Facebook page. Disney with the
don't
Ducks.
worry. When I promote the show, I'm gonna straight up say,
Yeah.
Do you agree that salsa or hummus is a condiment? Because it's not. It's in the dip.
I'll give you
the
hummus.
Grocery store.
The hummus is more of a dip, even though I do put it on sandwiches a lot.
You put hummus on sandwiches?
I do.
Yeah.
Turkey sandwich. It's good.
So good.
Instead of cheese. Instead of cheese.
Yeah. It's so good, Lonnie. You got to try it. Hummus. We broke Lonnie. Great.
Off the rails. Okay.
Yeah, but no, so I'll give you guys that hummus is not a condiment. I'll agree there. But salsa, we need this settled on the Facebook page. Disney,
Is
what's
it
it up?
salsa made in New York City?
New York City.
What is that? Old El Paso? No, it's not Old El
It
Paso.
is. Yeah,
Is it?
I think
Okay.
so.
Oh man. I mean, what are we talking about tonight, John? Get us back on track.
I don't even know anymore at this point. Okay. We're going to do part 2 of our must-dos in the parks. So tonight we're going to talk about Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and we're each going to give a few of our main must-do items or attractions or shows in those parks. So let's start off with Epcot today. So Lonnie, what are you going to do at Epcot? What's one of your must-do activities?
One of my must-do activities, and I'm only going to do it once per visit, and that's ride Guardians of the Galaxy. Look, awesome ride. Love the music. Love everything about it. Don't love it going twice. And whatever you do, don't go back to back.
No.
But other than that, if you go back to back, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
But just a awesome ride. I think one of the best coasters at Disney. So yeah, I'm going with Ride Guardians. Got to do it.
Solid choice. And I like that you mentioned not going twice in a row, because I think I might not make it to any other rides that day. So, but that is an awesome ride. That's one of the coolest rides I've ever been on anywhere ever.
Even with Conga, it's still a good ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. Kevin, I think I can guess, but I want to hear what you're going to pick.
I got to go visit my friend Figment. I've got to, that's something that, is an easy one to tick off. Usually the line's not that long, but it just, every time I go through the queue and hop in and ride through, I just kind of, see myself when I was little and went for my first time again. And it's just, it just holds a special place for me. That was my first Disney ride ever. So, and Figment, I love Figment. So that's my number one.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was on my list too, just like Guardians was. So I'm quickly losing attractions, but no, I mean, that's one of the ones that same reason. Like, it's so fun. It's just cute and fun, and there's like nothing else to it. I mean, you sit there and you go through the smell lab, and everybody, it stinks.
That's right.
Who doesn't like
and
that?
if you go to the meet and greet, I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome as well.
That dials it up even higher. I mean, get to hang out and see Figment.
Yeah.
Last time I went to the meet and greet, I hugged Figment and he whispered in my ear, "Let the magic happen." I was like, okay.
Oh, I don't know. I need an adult.
I was like, okay, Figment.
But you know what, Lonnie? He didn't do that to me. He was very respectful and kind. So I don't know. You must have been.
Maybe I just felt that vibe.
Yeah, you give off the vibe that I just don't.
Easily approachable.
All right. Jody, what about you? What's a must do at Epcot?
I would say the one that we always do is Soarin'. It's not, the fastest, most exciting ride, but there's something about it. I don't know, letting your feet dangle and all the smells and flying over the stuff. I still really like Soarin'. I'm bummed that I didn't get to do Soarin' over California. The timing for our trips didn't work out, but I think it's just it's a good Epcot. It's a little educational because you're going to all these other countries, but it's got the senses and then your little excitement and stuff. I love Soarin'. I never miss it.
Yeah, I know, I do too. I think it's awesome. It's
it's
so
on my
fun.
list too.
All right, I'm gonna say for Epcot, one of mine was the land, because I had Guardians and Figment on there as well, but those were taken. So I'm gonna go with the land. I love that ride. I think it's really cool. I like seeing all the different growing techniques and all of that stuff, and it's cool too because you see some unique plants that they grow in there, and it's just fun. You go through there and you see bananas and you see how pineapples are grown. You see all kind of different things. So and then you get over into the areas where they're doing like they have the fish that then fertilize the plants that then clean the water, and just seeing that kind of cycle and stuff play out. It's really cool to me. So that one's a little educational, which is nice. And you learn like that a lot of that produce is used in the restaurants, like a garden grill and stuff, and that's just really fun. So I don't know. So that's neat to me. Plus,
like
there's
it.
never a line. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
the
pretty
thing
much
with the
walk on.
fish is so cool. I love that too. That's
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite things about the ride. So it's
Yeah.
really neat.
It is. It's you think about it, like makes perfect sense. Yeah, they're there giving their poop to fertilize the plant. The plant's cleaning the water.
Yeah.
I mean,
Circle of life.
it's the perfect system. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that ride is awesome. It scarred me for life though, because once I went there and I realized that fish use the bathroom in the water, I don't go into the ocean anymore.
No, it's really
Before,
dirty.
I don't know why I didn't think of that, but when I see it now, I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
not getting in the water.
No, it's just full of
It's pretty
fish
bad.
poop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the land. It's one of my favorite rides. And it's over in that area too by Figment. So I can go there, go to the land, or go to Figment, go to the land, and then go to the DVC lounge. So, it's like the perfect little area over there.
It is.
All right. So Kevin, what's a number 2 must do for you?
Well, I mean, Guardians and Soarin' were definitely on my list. I think if I had to pick another, it would be I love going to San Angels. I know that it's a restaurant, but I really like their chips and salsa. Whether it's a condiment or not, I still like it. And being able to sit in there, and it's like even during the middle of the day, it can be 1,000,000 degrees outside and dark in there, and it's like you're in a kind of like a Mexican, nightlife kind of thing. It's really cool. They have lots of good drinks, and salsa's great, and lots of good entrees and appetizers, and I just really like going in there. Whenever we have a chance, so I'll always try to do that.
Well, while Kevin's in there, he'll see me doing one of my favorite things, which is 3 caballeros. So I'll wave to him while he's eating his yummy food, and I'll be like, "Hey, I'm going to go see Donald Duck."
Yeah.
See, and Acapulco. It always makes me laugh when they have Acapulco at the end of that. I don't know why. I think it's so funny, but I didn't mean to jump in, but I was like, since you're talking about it, and they're right there next to each other. So
That's right. There you go.
and then I'll be
And
on the little boat next to you going by, and you
I
can
can
maybe throw me
pass
out.
you some nachos.
Yeah, throw me a couple of chips. While I,
Throw a burrito. See if you can catch it like a football.
oh, that's a game, right? Throw a burrito, isn't that?
Yeah, it is. It gets violent. We had to stop playing it at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're whipping this burrito at people, and it's not good. Kevin, is that the place you used to talk about, like a chicken mole or something? Is that from there?
Is.
Okay.
It is, and they don't always have it. It's on the dinner menu. I need to go back and try to see if they have it still next time I go. But it's so good, the best.
It does sound really good. Man. Jody, what do you got
I
as
just
your?
gave mine.
Oh, you did 3 caballeros, right?
Yep.
The ride, which is cool because, like you said, it goes through the restaurant. That's really neat.
Hardly ever wait, and it's I don't know. It's corny and old and cheesy, but I love everything about it.
And you can get a margarita afterwards.
You can get a margarita afterwards. Yes.
Yeah, and you go through that little store and everything, and
that's so cool.
It is neat. Yeah, I like the Mexico Pavilion a lot. That's awesome. All right, Lonnie, what about you? What else we got for a must do?
Oh, I think everybody knows this by now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Every time I go, I don't even care if I'm hungry or not. I'm going over to Yorkshire and I'm getting me some fish and chips. Every time I go, I always get the fish and chips. I love it. It's a staple for me. So that's my must do. Please go over there and get you some fish and chips. You'll love it.
The best. So good.
And luckily, that whole area then smells like fish and chips. Which is great.
As it should.
But what's really
so,
Lonnie, whenever you get fish and chips, do you go to sit by the water side, or what do you do? Do you have a place you like to?
Like most
I actually usually sit in there. It's funny. I went for springtime surprise, and a duck was like harassing me.
Oh yeah, they love the fish.
They were like right there. It's like, give me that fish, and I'm like, no, and he's like, give me that fish. I'm like, duck, no, But yeah, so it's. I usually try to sit by the water, but it's funny. They're actually now. I think that's caught on. People realize that you can sit back there. because it's a little different path to go around. So now it's been full the last couple of times, but
Hmm.
it moved so fast through there. I was able to just sit up in front. So
Yeah.
No, that's a good choice, and that's not unexpected, I think, from you, Lonnie. So
I think everybody knows it.
I am gonna say for my third one, I'm gonna go with Club Cool. Or my second one, I'm gonna go with Club Cool. I think it's so fun, like trying the different pops from different countries and how different countries kind of look at things like sweetness and flavors and that kind of stuff. And I mean, there's like a really good cucumber one. I think there was what else? There's a bunch of them that are really good. But like when we went for the springtime surprise race, I took D in there and was like, oh, the Beverly, this is my favorite one. It's so good.
Oh, you got it with the Beverly.
I loved it. It made me laugh very hard. So no, I like Club Cool, especially in the newer location. I think it's neat or cool even. Yeah. All right. Third one, Jody. What do you got for a third one?
Maple popcorn.
Ooh, nice.
To me, you can't go to Epcot and you can't walk through Canada without getting your popcorn bucket refilled. And I appreciate it that it's the same price as regular popcorn. And it's delicious. And it is a breakfast item, Lonnie. I would consider that breakfast because it's got that little sweet, like maple, like pancakes. So yeah, maple popcorn. You have your Magic Kingdom popcorn for breakfast. I'm going to have my maple popcorn in Canada for breakfast. So it's must do.
Time out. I'm going to throw a flag. You're eating popcorn for breakfast. Sweet popcorn.
Yeah. Maple popcorn. Mm-hmm.
For breakfast.
Sure.
You guys are telling me salsa's not a condiment.
Wait, Lonnie already said earlier that he was going to eat popcorn for breakfast. You didn't yell at him then?
It has happened. Not that like it's like a big plan.
It is a grain, and we do eat grains for breakfast.
I mean, cornflakes. Cornflakes is a cereal, and it's corn. Hello.
John, you gotta let it go, brother. Let it go.
What I'm getting
let it go.
Salsa is not a condiment, but maple popcorn is a breakfast food.
Okay, but
what is this world coming to?
She said breakfast. She didn't say I'm using the maple popcorn as a condiment. It's breakfast.
You sprinkle it on your French toast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sprinkle it.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Sprinkle some maple popcorn on top of it.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
But I will eat it at all hours of the day when I'm at Epcot. Okay, and I will make sure I fill my bucket before I leave so I can eat it the next day.
Yeah, I like that those refills. I mean, I'll just walk back and forth across Canada, just to eat it, get $2 refill. Oh man. Okay. So Kevin, where are you going, or what's your next must-do at Epcot? Your last.
So most of the ones that have been mentioned are I'm kind of getting at the bottom of my list. But one of the things that I do always like to go see, especially if I'm by myself, because not everybody would get the same thing. But I love going over to Germany and looking at the clocks, the cuckoo clocks on the wall. It's something personal for me. Like when I was a kid. Sitting in my grandparents' house, they had a cuckoo clock, and I always thought that was so cool. He got it when he was in the military, and he was in Germany, and so that was something that I always liked to see when I was a kid. And then it reminds me of my grandparents. So I really like to go in there and just look around and see the cool different clocks that they have and that kind of thing. So
that is really cool. I never really. I mean, now that you mention it, I remember seeing them, but it's never something I've really looked at before. I got to check that out next time I go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
really cool.
Disney's the best at having something that kind of fits everybody's, favorite kind of things, and I just think that's really cool that they've had it there for so long. I hope they keep it.
That's awesome. Huh. All right, Lonnie, what about you? What else you got for a must-do?
So it's going to be a long one, but at least you have to make at least one loop around World Showcase each time. Either you start in the back from where the Skyliner drops you off in France, or you start coming from the front, whatever. Just make you a complete loop through World Showcase. So many different things you get a chance to see. During festivals, you can even stop and grab different snacks as you're making your way around. But even if if you're not buying, it's not a festival. Just taking in all the cultures, all the sights as you're walking through World Showcase. So at least one loop around World Showcase every time.
That's an awesome one. I actually had that on my list too. Um, just because of what you
No,
said.
we're twinning tonight, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and with like the food booths and everything, it's it makes it even that much more worth it to go all the way
Yeah.
around, right? Because then you can sample the food booths, the booth drinks, the little shops, just everything. That's awesome. But I'm since you took a full loop of World Showcase, I'll scratch that one from my list, and I'll say go to the Japan Pavilion. I love the little stand they have out front during the festivals where they have the frushi, and they usually have like a sushi donut or something like that. That's really cool. And then the restaurants there, Tepanito and Katsura Grill, which is the quick service up on the hill. Those are awesome. The drums that they play or every once in a while, that's really cool. If you ever get to see that show, it's not super long. I think maybe it's like 10 minutes or something, but they have a bunch of drummers come out, and it's really cool. And just the views from there of the rest of the park, looking out across the lake and everything. And that store is so cool. So they have the store there, and it's got all kind of stuff like anime things that my son likes, and it's got Nintendo stuff from Japan, and then it's got a whole section on like different candies and foods and stuff. And then they have an oyster thing there too, where like you go pick an oyster out of a tank, they open it up and get the pearl out for you. And then you can have the pearl set into a ring or a necklace. Like we got my daughter Kara a necklace when we were there one year and let her pick out which oyster it was. And then they do a whole ceremony for it, and they open it up right there. It's really fun. So that store to me is worth walking over that way anyway. But then everything else about that pavilion to me is just awesome. There's even a little museum of cute, like the like Hello Kitty type, like cutesy culture stuff from Japan. They have a little museum area when you're walking into the store on the left hand side there. It's really cool. It's worth walking through and spending like 5 minutes in. It's not huge. It's basically like one big room, but it's really neat. So that's mine for Epcot. All right, so that gets us through. We all gave our 3 for Epcot. So let's head over. We'll jump on the Skyliner. We're going to go over to Hollywood Studios. And since we're talking about taking the Skyliner there, I can scratch that off my list and come up with another one, because that definitely would have been one of my must-dos at Hollywood Studios is ride the Skyliner somewhere. All right, so let's see. Let's start with Jody. What's one of your main must-dos at Hollywood Studios?
Tower of Terror. I love Tower. I love the vibe of it. I love that it's still not touched with any Disney IP, that it's old school. I love the ambiance of it. I love the queue. I love being in the room. I love when the cast members really get into their role, and then, get their little, before the door shut, they say something really clever and scary. I love everything about it. And I think it's a must do for Hollywood Studios. It's that old Hollywood. I wish that the characters of Hollywood, is that what they were called? Who were up and down Sunset Boulevard, the actors.
The citizens of Hollywood?
Citizen of Hollywood, yes. I wish they were still out there, because they kind of gave that whole vibe to the whole era. But I still love Tower of Terror. Like I love just the drop of it. I don't know, everything about it. It's one of my favorites, and I think it's just great. I love doing the pictures afterwards, the scared pictures. So, yeah, Tower is my first choice.
Yeah, that was number 1 on my list too, Jody, because it was just like you said, everything. I mean, to me, it's the most perfectly themed ride at Disney. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All
Sorry,
right.
I took
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine though, because that gives me a chance to talk about a different one in a minute. Lonnie, what about you? What's your must do at Hollywood Studios?
Well, my must do is walking through Galaxy's Edge on my way to breaking down on Rise of Resistance. because you have to break down, right?
Yeah.
On rides. That's the thing. And have you really done Hollywood Studios if you haven't seen the Stormtrooper and the Resistance Fighter smoking the doobie out back? I would say no. So I am going to say mine is breaking down on Rise of Resistance.
Dude, and I was gonna say that's a unique experience.
It
But
really
it's
is.
really
You get to
not.
see,
No, yeah, but it's really not a unique. It's not an uncommon experience.
no, it's pretty common, but being able to see, like you said, what it's like to be a stormtrooper when they're not on the movies and they're just hanging out in the parking lot. I mean, you don't usually get to see that. That takes an extra special, celestial alignment to make that happen.
Yeah, and you ask them and say, "Aren't you guys enemies?" And they're like,
Not for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, only when the rides work.
Like, man, he was my best man.
Exactly.
My goal at one time, maybe when we get back there, even more than seeing the Stormtrooper and the Resistance smoking a doobie, would be Radar Matt. If we could see Radar Matt back there,
that would be awesome.
Him back there, not Kylo, you want Radar Matt.
He forgot to rewire the calcinator.
Exactly. Get him back there. We're in good shape.
Oh boy. All right. Kevin, what's your must do?
No big surprise for me, but I'm going straight back to Ronto Roasters, and I'm getting me a Ronto wrap and some Creole pork rinds and a Tatooine Sunset. So that's what I'm getting. I go there straight to the back before I do anything else. That's my thing. And being able to walk through Galaxy's Edge like Lonnie and just see, when you walk through that tunnel, you're just really, it's like you're really walking into Batuu. So I really like it. I like that you don't see Star Wars, text written on anything. It's all very, in universe kind of. I mean, it'd be pretty cheesy if everything said Star Wars on everything you pick up, and it's not, it's just more authentic. I just really like it.
Yeah.
So
It is.
watching the droid turn the
I
thing,
think so too. Just the whole.
that I love that. Cooking on a roaster. Pretty cool.
They got the
pod
jet
racer
engine or whatever cooking.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's just like you said, the immersion there too, with not having like the brand names and stuff everywhere is really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's not really surprising that you went with something Star Wars and definitely not a Ronto wrap. So
yeah,
I think mine might be a little surprising. I'm gonna say mine is the Frozen sing along. I feel like it is so funny, and I love Frozen. Like my girls love Frozen, so we go there pretty much every trip. And it's just something like there's enough humor in it for me that I like. There's stuff that keeps Crosby, who's 2, entertained. So there's stuff from that whole range and everybody in between that we can all find something we like in there. The actors are usually great. They play off each other, and it's pretty much the same script, right? But every once in a while they'll improvise a little bit, and that's really cool to me. I don't know. And then the snow comes down at the end, so you can't beat that. Plus it's 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it is, out of the Florida heat in the middle of the day. It's a nice little place. You can take a nap if you really want to. I've done that in there before. You can also just enjoy the air conditioning and the show, because it's always so entertaining and it's funny. And yeah, I love sing along. I love karaoke, so it gives you a chance to do that too. So yeah, that's mine. Man. All right, Jody, let's go back to you. So Tower of Terror, what else are we going to have a must do?
Baseline Tap House. I always go to Baseline. I love it there. I love that I can look at all my Muppets things. I can see the Royal Flush and Pizza Rizzo and Muppets 3D from there, or I can look people seeing that they're start to going into Galaxy's Edge, or I can turn around and see people who are feeling queasy after they just got off of Star Tours. I just love sitting there. I love the people watching. I feel like you're not in a theme park when you're there. You're just at a local outdoor bar watching the universe, and it's some great people watching. And I don't know, I like taking a time out from all the rides and stuff and Disney everything, and you just for a minute you're just someplace else, and I love it. I love going to Baseline.
So
That's a
you
great
want to
one.
pay like $200 to go to a place, to go to another place within that place, to not feel like you're at the first place.
So just to take a little break from it, you know, sometimes you just need a break.
Okay.
You just need a little pause.
That is pretty funny though.
I've never, yeah. As you were talking, I'm like, huh, okay. But no, I've never been in there because I always have all the kids with me. But do they have unique drinks or anything there? Is it just like a normal, like they have a bunch of beers on tap?
They have
And
beers and then a couple. I think there's maybe a red wine and a white wine. I don't think they make any mixed drinks there, not that I'm
I don't think
aware
so.
of.
okay, it's almost like
and
a
then
hometown brewery type feel.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
and just a couple
nice.
different beers on. I think they always have like a Sierra Nevada, and I don't know, something from the West Coast, something from the East Coast. But I don't know. I just really like spending time there.
Well, wait. So if they have both the West Coast and East Coast represented, are there ever fights?
Yes, there's always
All the time.
Yeah.
Always.
always a
Yeah.
throwdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Live out
every
there.
single day.
Don't go there. Wow. Okay.
That is false information, everyone. That is not the truth. No,
That's
I've never seen
wild,
anything
though.
happen there.
That's why they got rid of the citizens of Hollywood. They were the gang members.
Yes. Yeah.
They'd snap their fingers going down the
Mhm.
sidewalk.
Oh boy. All right. Let's get this back on track. So Jody, you came. Lonnie, after you break down on Rise, what else do you need to do?
Well, I had ride Tower of Terror. That's my favorite ride. Jody got that. So my last one I'm going to give is have your photo taken by Willie, or a little photo shoot that Willie does. Willie is a cast member there. He's been working for a very long time. He has kind of like a cult following, actually. He's gotten so many cast compliments. It's just crazy. But they're usually a line of people, and he's usually right around Tower of Terror, right? And so have your photo shoot with Willie.
Love it.
Wow.
I think
okay.
I
I'm gonna
know.
have to look
Does
for
he
Willie
sit?
next
Does
time
he
I'm
sit down?
Yes.
Is he sitting down?
Yes, he is.
We got our picture with him. I had no idea.
Yeah,
He was awesome.
You go on Instagram. He has really like I said, a cult following.
I had no
In
idea.
the Springtime Surprise episode that Lonnie and Sarah did, I posted that picture or video when that episode dropped. So you can go back on the Facebook page and see that. So
Awesome. All right, Kevin, what else do you have after you're getting your Ronto wrap?
So after I get my Ronto wrap, I'm walking all through Galaxy's Edge, and I'm gonna check out all the shops. I have to go through the First Order shop and the all the little the Toydarian toy shop and the creature stall, and walk over by the Falcon. So mostly it's just walking around, going into Doc Ondar's and seeing what they have in there, all the cool busts and the different kyber crystals and the different helmets and stuff. It's just most of my time after the Ronto wrap is walking around and just living that immersed experience into the land. So it's not, it's an attraction, but it's not really a ride or anything. But it's something that I really enjoy, especially if you're early and everybody else is in line and you can kind of walk around and get some good pictures. Usually there's some cast members that will give you, will be set up for the Falcon where you can get some cool pictures in front of the Falcon or with Chewbacca or any of the people walking around and with a lightsaber, that kind of thing. So yeah, that sort of ties in with my first one, but I spend a lot of time and pretty much most of the day in Galaxy's Edge. So yeah.
That's really cool though. And one of the things you mentioned, like the shops and stuff, me and Caleb and Carly tonight after dinner, we were playing Sabacc with a card deck got from one of those shops. And it's just really cool because you can actually play the game and that type of thing. Yeah, it's neat. And they have guys out there playing it too, showing you how to play between the shops. So that's neat too, because you can go up there and play a hand or two, and they really rope you in that way with, this is a fun game.
And on the other end of that on the other end, over by the Droid Depot, they have a new thing out where they have the different droids where you can drive your droid around, and it's like a nice, it's like a connected floor material that, like you'd see in a garage or something, but the droids go around on it really well. So my kids love to take their droid over there and drive them around with all the other kids, and droids are all talking to each other, and it's just fun. A lot of fun.
That's really cool. Yeah, those interactive things are always fun. Man.
Mhm.
All right, my next must do. So, Jody, you mentioned Tower of Terror. We've already talked through that one. Slinky Dog to me is one that I want to do every single trip. It's up there as one of my favorite rides, and
Yep.
I feel like it's such a smooth ride. It's not high enough where it freaks me out with my fear of heights, but it's high enough to make it fun. And like some of just the ups and downs that they have in quick succession, those are really cool and really make you feel like, whoa, we're going fast, and you can see into Galaxy's Edge from it, which is really cool. I love it. I think it's one of my favorite rides because and I can take my little kids on it too because it's not too scary or too extreme.
That's the best part. Yeah, because it's not too extreme, like you said.
Yeah, and I love it. Oh.
It's a great coaster.
Yeah, super smooth.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's one of the smoothest rides that I've ever been on. I mean, it's something.
Yeah, it's amazing, really, that they've been able to do that. But then, on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Dinosaur, where you need a full back realignment after it.
Classic ride. Best ride ever.
Oh, man, I just snorted. All right, Jody, do you have another must-do for Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, so my third and final is actually Toy Story Mania. Because we're kind of competitive in our house. We're kind of sporty. So we always like to see who has the highest score. Typically it's boys versus girls, and it's a big deal to see who is going to beat the other car. So it's a little intense. I'm not gonna lie. We're a little intense with our game, but it's fun. And it's always like we come out of there all jazzed up, like, oh, did you get this one? Oh, yeah, it's so I don't know. It kind of beats you up a little bit. Like it's not the most comfortable thing to sit in. But it's a fun one. And I think we always do Toy Story Mania.
And my arm is always sore after.
No.
You're pulling on that little
like
cord.
right there.
Yeah. And it just hurts for like the next half hour.
Yep. I agree.
But you know what? You mentioned that it's pretty intense with your family and stuff. Who usually wins?
Girls.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And is that like bragging rights till the next trip type of thing?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you reminded him.
Just to verify that.
Yeah, I have photo proof because we all take pictures of our scores, and then we have to verify. So you have to show the other person your picture. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know what else is intense? Fire at the Circus.
Oh,
it is intense.
Oh wow, we're not even quacking up a ducks yet, and I'm already dropping mad dad jokes. Okay, all right, Lonnie, do you have another must do at Hollywood Studios?
You know what? The only other thing I could say, and there are a lot of great things to do there. When you go in to Hollywood Studios, one of the things, if you go by the Chinese Theater on the right-hand side, there's, so you're walking up the main strip, turn to the right, and there's a popcorn cart right there. Usually you have some characters right over there hanging out, but there's a bench right there as well. Sit at that bench. You'll be amazed. You get to watch. Usually it's Chip and Dale. Sometimes you'll see Goofy pop up over there, but it's just a great spot right there for people watching, right? So you have a fresh smell of popcorn the whole time because the cart is right there and it's always busy, and you really can just relax there. So one thing I do like to do at Disney, I always say, people that come back and say, "Oh, I'm so tired because I went to Disney. I need a vacation after my vacation." If it's not a Run Disney event, I think you did it wrong. I think, we do Disney a little bit different. So there's more relaxing than just running from place to place to place to place, right? So taking the time to people watch, sit on a bench, and just relax. And I think it's a real good place for that.
That's awesome. And with the characters there, it would be cool seeing like kids and how they interact and all that kind of stuff too. Hmm, that's fun. All right. Kevin, what do you got? What's another one that you have to do every time?
So if I'm with the Ducks or if I'm with my kids, I'm going to Sci-Fi Drive-In, and I'm going to have a milkshake and a hamburger in the back of a car and watch some corny sci-fi movies.
That sounds perfect.
Ever since I went with Gene, that's now one of my things that I have to do when I go to Hollywood Studios.
Do your kids know that you're thinking about Gene though when you're with them there?
Well, I don't lead on to that. I keep that to myself.
Some things kids should know.
That's right. They're not old enough for that yet.
Oh man. Okay.
Some of the best milkshakes. Oh, they're so good.
So you're
Thanks
saying,
for sharing.
that those milkshakes brings Gene to the back of the car?
Yeah, it actually did. It did.
Milkshake brings Gene to the back of the car.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if we're gonna have to pay a royalty.
I almost died that day, but I'm kind of glad I wasn't drunk.
Yeah. Whenever we got back, we're like, yeah, it probably was good that it was just us.
I mean, you don't want 3 of us in the back of that car. That just
That might have started some rumors.
Yeah, look, 2 of y'all already have enough rumors. You don't need me to perpetuate more rumors. Okay?
Oh.
Well, while you guys are all in the back seat of a car, I'm going to do something more wholesome. And my must do. So this is kind of along the same lines as the Frozen sing along. The Disney Junior Dance Party is so much fun if you have little kids.
Mhm.
It is like the coolest experience because they have all the characters out there dancing and they get everybody up and moving around. And like, it's just so cute to see like through the kids' eyes when Mickey's up there dancing and they're dancing with, whoever's walking around. And it's really fun. Like you can let loose and dance in there with the kids too. And to me, that's one of the things that, you don't see a lot of those Disney Junior characters just around the park unless you're right outside of where they have that dance party. They'll have some once in a while, or you have to go to the Hollywood and Vine breakfast to see them, the character breakfast they have over there. So it's cool if you have little kids that are into Disney Junior shows. That's one of my favorite things there, is just going there. And usually you don't need the Genie Plus pass at all. I mean, it's walk right in, and then the only way you wait in line is if you missed the show you were walking. They just started the show, and then you're waiting a 15 or 20 minutes. So it's not bad in terms of like being able to get into it and stuff. So that's one of mine. It's fun because you can sit on the floor if you want to take a break, or you can get up and dance with the kids and kind of goof off and have fun. So yeah. All right. So that wraps up Hollywood Studios. So we've given a lot of must-do things at Hollywood Studios, which is awesome because there's a lot of fun stuff to do there. And speaking of fun, we're going to try to make you quack up. So, Jody, do you have a joke for us?
I do. So what happens when you wear a watch on a plane?
I don't know.
Time flies.
Got it, John. Time flies.
That's a good one. Lonnie, what do you got?
What kind of drink can be bitter and sweet? Reality.
Reality. Oh boy, that's a good one too.
Bringing it.
Kevin, what do you got?
All right. So what do you call a deer with no eyes?
I don't know. What?
No idea. And also, what do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no idea.
That's so. I like it. The follow-up one. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's good.
I was looking at some paintings and stuff, trying to like add some new artwork to my house, and it got me thinking: why did the painting go to jail? It was framed.
Oh,
Oh boy. Okay.
there's good
Well,
ones.
yeah. Where's the fireworks, Jody?
I don't know. They're tired.
Yeah. Well, it is late here in the Eastern time zone. There we go. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening tonight. Please go out to your podcatcher and give us a 5-star review. And then after you do that, send it to a couple friends and come over to our Facebook group, Disney with the Ducks, where you can answer the most important question posed in recent memory, which is salsa a condiment or not? So, Facebook tracks who does vote on that. So we'll know who is wrong and I'll call you out on it. So, but thank you for listening, everybody. And Kwaharini.
Peace
Bye,
out,
friends.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
So in that case, I'll use mustard.